When people think of quality, they usually think of the best, the most expensive. Take the Orient Express, for example, or Concorde. Now, they're both luxurious ways to travel. They're also both very expensive. Now, you might say they're the best, but they're also very poor yardsticks to judge the quality of transport offered by British Rail. What we need, therefore, is a less vague definition of quality. So here's a more precise one. Fully and regularly meeting the requirements, as previously agreed, with the customer. Well, this Rolls-Royce is certainly one of the most expensive cars on the market, and it's also a superb piece of engineering. So from that point of view, it's a quality product. But a Rolls-Royce may not be every car driver's first choice of vehicle. Quite apart from the prohibitive cost, it may not actually provide the driver with what he or she wants. Let's measure the effectiveness of the Rolls against that precise definition of quality. Take this woman. She wants a car that's easy to manoeuvre and park, doesn't cost a fortune, and has enough space for the family and shopping in the back. Above all, it has to be a safe form of transport. Now, a finely engineered car like a Rolls might impress the neighbours, but it's not very practical for her on a day-to-day basis. This lady wants something more basic that fulfills all her needs without breaking down. And to her, this family saloon represents quality. In other words, it's right for her. Quality isn't an absolute definition. It's a relative one. It means giving complete satisfaction, providing customers with exactly what they want, when they want it, at a price they can afford. In other words, horses for courses. But what they want is coloured by their expectations, and these can change and increase with time. A locomotive designed for pulling commuter services isn't much use pulling an intercity train between London and Glasgow. Moreover, the passenger accommodation might be a bit spartan on a long journey, although it's fine for short journeys. In the same way, a high-speed train isn't much use on a suburban route, but it makes the journey to Scotland that much more effective. BR has many customers. They're the passengers, from local commuters to intercity travellers. The freight customers, from parcels to power stations, and there are also internal customers too. For instance, the various business sectors are customers for the M&E department, who in turn are customers for the procurement department and outside suppliers. Thus, the whole operation is a partnership, each providing the right service at the right time at the right price. So, with all these different customers with different needs, how do you produce a realistic general definition of quality?
The definition of quality, as far as we are concerned, is meeting the customer's requirements every time. You have a specification or contract from the customer, you meet it exactly every time.
Now, we've been hearing an awful lot in the last few years about cost cutting, and now we've got quality. Is this actually a change of emphasis or a U-turn?
No, it's a change of emphasis. We've obviously, over the last few years, made strenuous efforts to become a cost-effective railway, and we've been very successful in that. What we now need to do is turn that success into meeting our customers' aspirations in terms of value for money and a quality service. In other words, providing them with what they want. The fact that we've been successful financially gives us a springboard to be able to do that.
Quality can be certificated with BS 5750. Why is this important?
The purpose of BS 5750 is really to provide a framework within which to work. BS 5750 lays down the requirements for certain things, like are all the staff suitably trained, are all the maintenance schedules in place. That gives the staff a framework and ensures that all their requirements are in place to enable them to produce a quality product. It also allows a location to be able to show the outside world and indeed their customers that they have met a specific requirement.
Every day there are nearly 1 million passenger journeys in and out of London, half of them in the rush hour. In Britain as a whole, several million passenger journeys are made each day. However, many of those passengers are unhappy with the way those trains are run.
There's not enough trains running, and they're never scheduled on the right time.
The condition of the stock is appalling. It has to be said. It's dirty, scrappy. I'm reasonably happy with it. Quite happy to travel by it. And the only thing I find, the prices sort of you go to Manchester, sometimes it's cheaper to fly. I mean, return now, first class, is about £80, I think. And some carriages are in good condition, clean, what have you. Others are old, decrepit, seats are falling to pieces. In some cases, the coverings are ripped and dirty. So it's just very difficult to say that they are keeping a consistent quality of service.
I travel to Wales fairly frequently, and that's pretty good, providing I don't travel on a commuter train. But it's awful if it's on a commuter train. I have to stand for a 2-hour trip, which is madness. And you spend £40 on a ticket, and you have to stand the whole way.
I suppose really the quality of the rolling stock really should be improved by now. I think there's unevenness in the service of people. I don't think British Rail have got it right yet in terms of their staff and the fact they are serving the public, and without the public they don't have any job, like most of us in the service industry.
So it seems that as far as the passengers are concerned, the requirements of their contract with BR involves more than just getting to the destination. They expect to arrive on time, having had a seat in a clean and comfortable carriage. Anything less, and BR hasn't achieved the right level of quality. Now, British Rail are taking comments like the ones you've just heard very seriously indeed. They've undertaken substantial research into passenger expectations, because only then can they fully and regularly meet those passenger requirements. Parcels customers also have a set of expectations about the service they get from British Rail. The post office, for example. Every day, 250 mail trains are run, and a substantial part of the service provided by the post office depends on those trains. Now, if one of those trains is cancelled, then letters arrive a day later, and that can create problems for customers. Tony Bartlett runs a successful electronics company in Swindon. Like most companies, they rely heavily on the post.
Well, we had a particular situation about 2 months ago with one of our major customers who pays extremely regularly and is very reliable. And we had an amount of £300,000 which was due to us. They gave us a particular date on which the cheque had been posted to us. It did not arrive within 2 days. It in fact took 4 days to get to us. Once we had got that cheque and then sent it on to our bank, it in turn took another 2 days for our bank to receive it, and it then took another 3 days for the cheque to be cleared. In effect, that was getting on for 2 working weeks where money was not available to us, and in fact we had to pay interest on a loan which we had to take out to cover our payments because of a delay in that cheque. We work on very, very tight cash flow strictures, and any delay has a dramatic effect on the amount of interest we're paying.
So how much did that extra interest cost you?
It cost us something in the region of £500 at the current interest rates, and that is £500 to a growing company, which is cannot be dismissed lightly.
BR's contract with the Post Office specifies strict conditions. There are financial penalties for BR if trains are late or cancelled, if there are wrong or short train formations, if rail cars are unusable, or if rail vans don't berth in time for pre-loading. But on the other hand, there are also bonuses for exceeding the terms of the contract. Companies and customers expect the Post Office to fully and regularly meet their requirements, and in turn, the Post Office expects the same from British Rail. But British Rail also has to think of its internal customers as well in order to provide a quality service for freight customers and passengers. And those internal customers have the same expectations as the external ones. The business sectors provide a service to our customers, but they in turn are customers for the vehicles provided by the M&E, as well as the staff provided by their partners, the operations department. But the sectors are also customers for the triple alliance of civil engineering, signals and telecommunications, and the M&E electrification and plant. Together, they provide the infrastructure.
This initiative is all about providing the customer with his or her needs. Our fare-paying customers must be able to expect what is offered to them in the offer from the railway Our internal customers must have what they need from each aspect of the organisation to be able to meet at the end of the day our fair paying customers' needs. It is all about everybody doing the job well, first time. Nobody likes to spend their time doing things wrong. There is a great enthusiasm when things are going well and everything is right. This quality initiative is all about getting it right to the specification, first time and every time.